Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil. Da-da-da.
Breaking up with your high school sweetheart. Let's get into it. Okay. Are you thinking of breaking up with your high school sweetheart? Because I was, and I did. And it was a very, very difficult thing for me to do. So if you're anything like me, it is no fun. You actually might end up calling him back and being like, can I please have you back? Do not do that. Oh my gosh, you look pathetic. I think I look pathetic. In fact, I didn't even get a reply. So do not do that. But you know what? Maybe I deserved it. I broke up with him over text. Shh. So, how do you know it's time to leave your high school sweetheart or that person that you've been with for so many, many years? You know, when we have our relationships, we have this root that we grow. We spend time with them 10, 20, 5 months, 1 year, however long it is that you spend with that person, you are growing a root. It's actually quite scary. And the longer time, the more time you spend with them, the longer that root will get. And as a cause of that, the more comfortable you get, the more they know you, the more you know them, the more you understand each other, the more you know how to help each other. And you know what? That's fantastic, but it's also terrible. It is terrible. Why? Because you will then have a harder time leaving. That's right. I loved my high school sweetheart and I did not want to leave him, mainly because we've known each other 4 years. 4 years. Wow. Like 14, 10, I don't even know anymore, but we've known each other a very long time. I've known him when he was going through his depression. He's known me when I was like growing. We've seen each other at our bottom, at our top, at our bottom, at like literally any stage you want to point out. We've known each other. And even though we weren't together all the time, on and off, we're just friends, we know about each other and we kept our eye out on each other. That is not something that you will get with a new human being. Of course you won't. Of course you can. You can't fill somebody in on the past 10 years of your life. You can to a point, but they're not going to be there. They're not going to see it with you. They're not going to meet you way back when you weren't the human being that you are here today. And that sucks. That is not... I'm going to be honest with you. You won't get that. And that is something that you're going to get with that high school sweetheart. That is something that you're going to get with him or her, but it's not something that you can get with a person that you're meeting on Bumble. And we all want to be able to tell our friends and everyone, oh, like I met Jenny when I was 10 and we went off and she went to Paris and then I went to New York and then we met back and now here we are having kids in London and we knew all this time we were meant for each other. You're not going to get that off your Bumble date. But here is what you will get on your Bumble date, or perhaps if you do decide to put your roots somewhere new. If you do look back at your relationship right now, or your high school sweetheart, or that human being that you have in the back of your head that you think maybe this person will be right for me, maybe they're still single somewhere out in the world. I'm still single. I'm checking on their Instagram every now and then, or their Facebook, or whatever you're on now. And maybe when they come back to my city, I can go and find them. We'll talk. If you let go of that notion, the sooner you let go of that notion, the better it is for you if they are not the right person for you. We tend to look back on people we dated and romanticize what it was. We romanticize our relationships sometimes. And I look back at my high school sweetheart and how we decided to get back together and give it one last go. And it was actually really difficult for me. I did not want to get back into it. I did not want to try. He did. Now we did try and we failed miserably. And here is why. We failed because over the span of years that we have had apart, we have grown into such different people. Our love for each other is still the same. Our care for each other is still the same. But the existence of who we are very different. And it actually brought to light a lot of the issues that we have had from the start. Being that he drinks a lot, that he likes board games, that I don't drink a lot, that I like waking up early, that he doesn't really wake up early, that he likes staying out of his friends more late, that I like waking up at 6 a.m. and going on a hike, the fact that I eat more clean than him, he needs more alone time, I need a lot of time. I'm more social. He's social with his friends, but not in other situations. I like networking events. He doesn't really. I really dress well. He's just getting into it. We had so many problems. Oh my gosh. And at some point, you think you can either try to fix it or you can just let go and stop trying to change each other to become who you are not. And that is it, people. You might not be who you want the other person to be. You might not be the right compatibility for each other. You just might not be compatible for each other. And at some point, we have to really reevaluate our relationships or our crushes or that person that we're still holding on to and think, are they the right person for me, or am I holding on to them for fear or for the fact that I have had 10 years with them, that they know me? The death of this notion that, yes, we might not have them anymore. It might be over with. Those years are gone. It's really, really scary. It means it's over. It means that high school is now over. That phase of your life is over. Those people are done with. You might be alone. You might need to start a new adventure. But isn't that also very exciting? It is if you decide to make it that way. If you decide to move on, to start a new adventure, to let go of those baggage that you're holding on to stop investing roots into a tree that you ultimately don't even like, go and put it somewhere that you do want it to be. Go buy a flower that you like. Don't buy something that you do not want. If you don't like roses and you like lilies, why would you go get a rose? Same thing being with, if you like Fred and you've known Fred when you were 10, but you really like Bob, go for Bob. Don't go for Fred because you've known him. Don't buy Rose because you've known roses your whole life when you like lilies. And that's just one example. I'm a girl. I can't help it. That's how I'm going to put it on to you. But think about it. If you are in this position, then you're going to think these two things. If you leave this person, then you're going to look back one day and think, what could I have had? And if you don't leave, then you're going to look out and think, what can I have? You're really not going to win either or way. But what you can do is that you can evaluate right now, what do you need in your partner? And the things that you need, not the icing on your cake, but the actual foundation of your cake. Is this person supplying it to you? Are they the right match for you? Is this person giving you what you need? And you know what? If you're focusing on the icing and you're thinking, oh, but he gives me gifts, he brings me flowers, he does this for me, you know what? You're going to get someone else. You're going to get another female. You will find that relationship. There will always be icing on a cake. There will always be icing on a cake. But that should not be why you stay, and that should not be what you're looking at. And that's actually my problem. I always look at the icing and I fail to look at the foundation. And that is something that I'm switching up this year, and I have been. And I could only do that once I learned what the foundational elements are that I need. That took me years to figure out, and it took me a very long time of self-discovery, and it took me a while just to realize who the hell I am. Now, that may be different for you. You may be better than me, and you might know who you are and what you need today, right here, right now. Good for you. If that is you, then you can even better, you can even have more insight on what you need, and if this person is really supplying you with what you need. Don't think of the icing, think of your foundation, and don't be too sad if you have to let something go that you had for a very long time. Just because you like your mattress for 10 years does not mean you're going to switch it. You're not going to switch it and get a new one if this mattress hurts. Just because you have something or you live somewhere for like 50 years does not mean you're not going to move on. In fact, sometimes the most scariest things in our lives can be the best things for us. Getting a new job, moving on, getting a new career, going to school again, doing new things, going after your dreams, following your pursuit. Do not settle for less, and do not settle for something just for the sake that you two have known each other or that you do know each other. It's time that we grow into who we need to be and who we want to be, and we find relationships that ultimately do satisfy us and give us what we need. You might be with a partner who's not right for you, and if that is the case, then they can find someone who's better suited to them than you. And that might be hard. It might be really hard to let go. It was very, very, very hard for me. And I could have done it in a much better way, for sure. But you know what? In the end of it, he has found someone much more suited to him than me. Someone who will play Warcraft with him. Someone who does drink more. Someone who's less, let's go out on a hike at 5 a.m., honey. He has found someone way better for him than me, and so have I. And it took me a longer time than him, and maybe I was actually starting to get just a little anxious because of that. But here we are, happy in the end of it, and at some point you're going to be happy too. So if you're thinking of breaking up with your high school sweetheart, think about what I told you. Where are you planting your roots? And are you planting them where you need them to be? Do you want to be with that tree for the next 10, 20 years? If not, reevaluate where you're putting your energy. Maybe it would be better if you put it into you. As always, I love talking to you all, and I'll talk to you next time.